name is Chandler Stevens. I was in the Minnesota Correctional Facilities from '92 to 2009. In that time, I've made some strides and was involved in many programs. One of the most significant and most impactful programs that I was in was the classes given by Brother Shane Price, The Power of the People. The main thing that I got out of the program and the classes, being a student teacher, being honored to be a student teacher, I remember the adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividers. And so being home for 10 years, after doing 17 years in prison, now I've been home for 10 years, I apply that to my life and have been the whole time. I want adders and I want multipliers in my life. If you're not an adder, if you're not a multiplier, I don't really want to be around you, because I feel like I'm bringing, addition and multiplication to other people's lives, and I just want that positive vibe around me. Brother Shane Price has been really magnificent in all this time. I remember when I first got released, I used to come and visit him, and one time in particular, I was trying to find my way as far as a job. I got a job, but he just gave me a love token one day, and I was like, man, that was really something. He just, he said, hey, just because I love you, brother, I just want to make sure you're okay. And I was like, wow, that's really, really powerful. And I really respect him. I appreciate him. I appreciate his wife so much. She was right there, and Power of the People has to be, it should be, in every facility in Minnesota and around the world, in the country, So, just want to say that going through this life, we need programs, we need classes, we need a support system. Nobody can do it by themselves, so we always need other people. And then knowing that, we have to be there for everybody else. Thank you.
So, because we have a few people in here that we don't know, we're just going to go around the room and introduce ourselves. I'm going to start with my good brother right back in the back.
Sherrod.
Brother Sherrod. Yep. Give Sherrod a hand.
All right, all right.
Got chicken all over everywhere. Go ahead on, little brother. And
Willie.
Will, y'all know Will, he's the godfather of soul. Go ahead.
I'm your stuff.
You what?
Sorry. Jessica?
This is Jessica. Give Jessica a hand.
Yeah.
Somebody done brought the cookies. Oh, Lord. And then,
Herbert Kelly.
there's Herbert. Give Brother Herbert a hand. Let's make each other feel good about it. So go ahead, Jory.
I'm Jory.
Give Jory a hand. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her clean shaven and everything. I miss Jory Necker, man. I miss him. Good to see you, man. I can tell you've been working hard. I ain't got to even ask you. Good job. Go ahead.
Rick Rito.
That's Rick. Give Rick a hand.
All right.
Come on, Miss Cheryl.
Cheryl Bradford.
That's Miss Cheryl Bradford. Good to see her. And
Tony. I'm Tier.
give Tia some love. You know, he ain't bad.
I'm Ananias Israel.
Ananias, give him some love. He ain't bad.
I'm Geronimo Strada.
Give Jerry a big hand.
Yeah.
Love it.
Miss Lola, the pop queen.
Pop Queen. Give her a hand.
Pop guy.
Pop guy ball.
Yeah.
With his shirt on.
I can't clap like a sister.
Wow. Hey, give Thomas a hand.
All right.
Wait, we got to clap loud because Tom trying to be so quiet. I'm telling you, come on, real loud. And so, come on, man.
I'm Chris.
Give Chris a hand.
All right.
Yeah. We just gonna right quick jump on Chris's case. We love him. But you know, his PO pulled another stunt on it.
Yeah.
The same way, right?
P.O. vicious.
He's vicious.
You vicious, man.
You can't be up here ducking when we got him on the ropes. You got to throw a punch. I'm sorry. Well, y'all ain't listening. I'm talking about a violation right here. And you know, here's daggone Chris trying to get this guy off of ISR. Well, I swear, man. So what's your ISR exit date now?
March 15th.
Oh, man.
That's next year. That's from September. It's supposed to be next month.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
But look, see, you remember we just was talking last week. Chris had that guy on the ropes.
Right.
But Chris said he didn't do anything inappropriate. And I get that he's scared. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the world to be scared about.
Man got that power over your freedom.
You know what I mean? So it ain't like we don't get it, but sometimes you gotta take a little chance and see what it brings you. Right? Now that makes it difficult for me to go back at it because we didn't take the opportunity. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Give him a hand. Dexter, that's Dex right there. What's up, Dex? Wow. What's up?
What's up, Pop Guy?
Yeah, Pop Guy. Give Pop Guy on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Pop Guy.
Yeah, that's Dex right there. Dexter Harper. Oh, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to Dex. But you know, Chris, we still love you, and you know, and there's no question about that. One thing that could help you is the fact that I believe some of the brothers who met with the commissioner shared your personal story with the commissioner. And here now, maybe we could pass that to our friends and that they can maybe take a swing at it, you know, because we took our swing. But you know what I mean?
And I reached out to Michelle Smith and Paul Snell at DOC on Monday, and I'm waiting for their call back.
Well, you know, so anyway, give Chris a hand, give some love.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, give some love because, and this right here is
Malik.
Malik. Give him a hand. You gotta move that. Malik got so much hot sauce on these chicken wings.
Oh my
It
God.
could blow him completely up. Wait a minute. Here come another pop guy done blasted in here. Rashad Nance. Give him some
All right,
love.
Rashad.
He get ready to take his hat off any minute. Good to see you, son. Looking all crispy too, man. Getting some sun. Come on. Next.
Brother Phillips.
Give Brother Phil some love in here.
Brother Wayne.
Brother Wayne. The staff member right there. And a sister.
Tennille Kelly.
Sister Tennille Kelly, a realtor, right? She wants to sell you a house or something. Anybody here want a house?
Yes.
Here's a sister right here to be talking to.
Yeah.
Even if you ain't ready today, she knows how to help you get ready, and you know all of this and that. And so, okay. So watch this. I just got to tell you all this. Oh, Tom, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're getting so slim, I don't know how to see you.
Tony Murray's count.
Give Tony Maurice Mister. So anyway, my wife and Tom, my daughter, they are in North Carolina
Okay.
for the Junior Olympics. And my daughter is competing in more events. She's already competed in long jump, high jump, hurdles, and triple jump. So she's doing a real good job. She's going to end up being a junior All-American no matter what happens. And she's going into the 12th grade. So we're trying to help her get to her next level. Say the next level.
Next level.
Don't you know, it's taken me all this time to realize how powerful it is to have somebody that's willing to help you get into your next level.
That's right.
But watch this though. When the help comes, you gotta take it. I'm gonna stop right there. But watch this. So anyway, you know, we've been able to travel a little bit, and, but I've never been on a cruise.
Okay.
Anybody here ever been on a cruise? Raise your hand if you've been cruising. So there's 3 people. Anybody back here? Okay, I never been. I never been on a cruise. And so my wife got connected. As a matter of fact, this cruise director, I don't know how she found my wife, but this cruise director found my wife. Got on her webpage, and her webpage is really well developed. And anyway, out of all of the discussions that they had, my wife is going to be the featured speaker
Oh,
on this cruise.
yes.
It's called the Power of People Cruise Retreat.
Hey, yes,
So
yes.
you know, I'm just, you know, this stuff, it's January 4th to the 11th in 2020. And here is some of the details. I'm just going to sail away to, this is what it says, sail away to the Caribbean on this beautiful MSC seaside launch just last year, expecting incredible cruising experience with modern amenities, including the newest spa concept. So this is a spa cruise.
Oh.
So anyway, if you're interested, excuse me, but if you're interested, the cheapest ticket, I think is $490 for the cruise. And then, you know, it goes up from there. But I'm just gonna pass a little something around just so you can look at it. You know, you ain't gotta do nothing, and you know, we ain't trying to say you nothing. I just wanna go on a cruise. I got it on my
Yes.
I got it on my bucket list. You know, it's on my list, Cheryl, so you know. So I just wanna try it out, especially for you married and engaged,
That's good enough.
heavily committed. Chris, how do you like that pudding? Hey, Chris is giving you the clean bill of health down here, Queen. So anyway, I'm gonna say one more thing, then I'll shut up. This week, one of our pop brothers who lives in Illinois had come here for a wedding. And he spent, of his 18 years, 18 or 19, he spent maybe 10 of those with us. And his name is Chandler Stevens. And he came up here and met with us, I think that was yesterday, and then O'Shea Israel came with him. Do y'all remember O'Shea? Anybody remember O'Shea? So I'm just passing this picture around. This is Chan and some of the pop guys.
I'm trying to breathe on those
See, just so you can see, hey, what's up? What's up, Mike?
breathe on.
And man, Mike Fox is in there. Give Fox
Hey,
a
hey, hey.
Yes.
Yes.
This is another pop guy. What is his name? That's Farrell. He's from Rush City. With you. He was in Rush City with you. Yeah, because he's a little bigger now. I can't call his name in a second, but him and his wife had come into town and they stopped by. Man, that stuff be making me feel good, man. And these people be coming from around the country. They live in Wisconsin. You know. So they be making me feel good, man, to come by here. And Chandler, we sat down having a meeting, and then Chandler started talking about pop and what it meant to him. And man, I swear, boy, it put something on my heart. And I needed that too, because I'm messing, I'm fighting with some, and you know, people fight me, and I'm like trying to fight them back. And then, you know, here, you know, this guy comes in here and says, Pop, man, you just don't know. Not scripted or prompted, and it was so nice to see these brothers and sit with them for a little while. And that's what I got. Anybody want to jump in and read the Acts of Faith real loud?
There is no accident.
There is.
There's always an Acts of Faith.
Where are they?
Take this one, hold up, because everybody don't have one.
Yeah, Wayne forgot.
Oh, how was
Just
Move a little faster, brother. roll. Let me have this sitting out there with you. Okay. Everybody done Wayne? You ain't got no more paper?
You run out?
You did?
Did we?
I don't know. I'll ask you
Who else needs one?
Hey, what's up, guy? Hey, brother, how you doing? Good, still good. Oh, there's one more announcement. We're gonna need some more, obviously.
I can make some more.
One more announcement before we go to the acts of faith.
Oh, yes.
Baba's, here's a couple, here's Baba's mother, Anthony Fletcher's mother. You know, she's been in group, y'all know who.
Yes.
Give her some love.
Yes.
Melba Harris.
Yep, good name.
She is struggling. She's fighting for her life.
Yeah.
And myself and my wife went out on Saturday. Will, did you keep it with me?
No.
Will also went out, and we just had prayer and even some praise. You know, sometimes a song can
Mm-hmm.
bring something over you. It praise, what they call it praise, it prepares you for what comes after. And so we ended up, man, having praise and prayer with his mom, who waited over 30 years for her son to come home. She visited him. Hey, James, man, come on in. Give James Reason a big hand. Come on. Here's a chair right up here.
All right.
You know, give him a bigger hand than that. Yeah. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, James.
Oh, wow, so great to see you. So anyway, what I want to say to you is, no, somebody's there, but down the way, if you can call Baba, just, you know, you don't have to know him that well, most of you do, but even if you don't, if it was your mom, just think about how comforting it would be just to hear somebody say, hey man, how you doing? You know, we sending you some love.
Okay, amen.
Let me just share something with you. Man, I'm gonna tell you, some people in here remember about 4 years ago, almost 4, we had Spike Moss here. I don't know if anybody know who that is. Spike, this is when our current president was running for president. And Spike came in here and he warned us in a really stern way to be careful of what would happen if this guy got into office. Now, the death penalty has been reinstated, and not only was it reinstated, they went instantly after the first person. The food stamps are being cut by $12 billion. Just across the board, these people are on GA, and you know, and then some families who are receiving. Man, this thing is ugly, and people think that this guy is crazy. No, not at all. This guy has got a vision for what he wants the world to look like, and he's going after it. Why did I go there from talking about Baba's mom? Because we don't realize we got to be able to appreciate each other in here. These times we are in now are different times than just 4 or 5 years ago. These are some different days. Duval is getting ready to be off of ISR tomorrow. Give him a hand. What's important about that is that the quicker you can get out of harm's way and on down the line, you can get out of the way of this agenda. This agenda don't think too highly of what we're doing or what we're trying to do. So when the help comes, take it. When the opportunity comes, you got to take it. And you can't be discouraged when everything don't go your way.
That's right.
Yeah. So somebody's gonna read Acts of Faith right quick. And you're gonna be glad to hear it too.
July 30th. Everything, even darkness and silence, has its wonders. Helen Keller. A history of abuse and labeling has created a tremendous strain on the sexual consciousness of people of color. The ancestral memory of being labeled as animals to be studied and bred has made us fearful of our sexuality. What we must accept and learn to understand is that we can be sexual and still be spiritual.
Wow.
Even in the abuses of the past, people of color were capable of loving and sharing the love as a sexual expression. We prayed for our freedom and the safety of our lives, and we still made love. Although the abuses have changed, many of our fears have not. Right now, there are many people of color who become anxious, nervous, and uncomfortable in conversations about sex. We do it, but we hide it. We make jokes about it in private. We tell stories about it in secret. When it comes to talking and sharing openly about sex, we shy away. Try this. Sex is wonderful. Sex is good. I like sex.
Yeah.
Sex likes me.
Yeah, yeah.
But don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. I am free to be a sexual being.
Oh yeah, come on, give my hand for that. That's a risque little message, but it's the real deal.
Yeah.
And you know, just when we talk about people of color, this ain't got nothing to do. This is everybody.
Everybody.
We don't want to talk about it and this and that, and we have all of these issues.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But the truth of the matter is, each one of us, we like it.
Yeah.
I don't hear nobody in the church.
Sex is good.
That's right. That's right. And so,
Sex likes me.
don't be, look, the sister, she wanted to say me too, but she can't say it. We just gonna assume, you know what I mean? But you know, it's a beautiful thing.
And you will not believe this. My partner told me today, she did a Nostradamus. The young lady told me, I said, that we have various topics in our group, and she said today the topic's gonna be about love. And she gonna be no more good when I tell her. Predominantly about
Don't tell her. Well, and you know, see, and then, you know, and especially for our guys, you know, in here who have had SO offenses, you know, we still love it. You get it? But you gotta manage it in a whole different way so that you don't put yourself in, you know, in precarious situations.
That's right.
Is that right or wrong?
Right.
So, you know, you gotta even put another hit on it, and you know, so that that thing that we all want and we all need, we can operate in a way that's not going to be harmful to anyone or to ourselves. Boy, that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
You know, so yes, that's a powerful message, and we're developed enough in group here that we could talk about this out loud and not be all bent out of shape. You know what I'm saying? And even though we have guests and you know this and that, you know, the guests just gotta come up to speed.
That's why it's just a positive.
Yeah, you want to be a guest here, you just have to come up to speed. Say, come up to speed.
Come up to speed.
And you know, it's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. What I was going to tell you, my sister's not here. I don't know what she's not. She's not here. My sister, you know, she has some even a different piece on that. You know, where she's struggling with some stuff. You know that makes it even more, you know, challenging to, you know, participate in this thing that we all like. Can anybody hear me in here?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you know, sometimes I hurt for her. You get it? Because it's my sister.
Right.
And I hurt for her that she has to work harder than anybody else and take, you know, and then even all kind of other
Precaution.
Yes. Oh, hang on. I'm stuck. Other precaution that so she can still, and her and whoever they still can make it happen. Someone said make it happen.
Make it happen.
No, say like this, make it happen.
Make it happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And so what we're gonna do, if this topic is uncomfortable to you, that's fine. You can just be an observer, or but if anybody has something they want to share, just on this topic or something else, we're gonna go ahead. Tony, I'm gonna come back to you. Hold up. Go ahead, somebody. Tony, you go.
Well, on this topic here, very sensitive topic, but we all are adults. And sometimes that part of a relationship can have a relationship to grow. Me and my lady has some discrepancies right out the gate, but the connection that we have amongst the bedroom fixed it. We thought about it, so it's hard to find a partner that you collaborate with so well around the board, and in one particular activity, we collaborate extremely well. So we said, let's not throw this away.
Wow.
Let's fix it.
Wow.
And that episode of our relationship encouraged us to fix it, because it's hard to find a partner.
Wow.
So I said, you know what, baby? Let's have a sit down. And we had a sit down, and we fixed our problem.
Stop right there. Give him a big hand. Somebody say fixed it. Fixed it. Man. Tell me, I love that, man.
That was good.
That was the deepest thing you have said in a long time. Say he fixed it. He fixed it. Man, and that's a great strategy, and certainly relationships do take, if you want to have a relationship, right? You got to set some stuff down. Yeah.
For me, I was real confused between lust and love a lot. And I really just, I didn't want to, at times where I should have been taking that time to get to know myself a lot more, I would always fill that void with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And when I got to prison, I had a lot of the roles. What you laughing for? Let me get it out. No, the roles, got reversed, and I got time to really. It's crazy because it took me to get to prison to really appreciate how valuable a woman can be. When I was out, I took a lot of that for granted, and I treated a lot of good women like they were disposable. But I think that was my karma when I got locked up, and I had a deeper understanding of just like the essence of what a good woman could be, and what the essence of a bad woman could be. And so now it's a lot more different. I approach it. I gotta have chemistry with her soul first, and her spirit. Her spirit has to be that has to be appealing to me first. Whereas before, when I looked at women like objects, who cares about all that? But now it's deeper. It's an investment now, a spiritual investment, and emotional intelligence. All these, like, there's so many different factors. It's like night and day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yin and yang.
Yeah, yin and yang of how it was. And
That's interesting.
when you let God, when I let God choose the right person, instead of me letting my flesh dictate who it's a lot more relaxing and a lot more calm.
Give me a hand right there. No, that was good. So you put yourself out there. I love that. And, so just briefly talk about the relationship that you're in now, if you don't mind.
It's going good, man. She's
Tell everybody, bring everybody to see you.
she's in well, her name's Karen. She's in she's from London, but she's actually in DC right now. And she's gonna go to New York. Some of y'all met her, some of y'all haven't. But we are actually, she bought the POP book out to London and spreaded it out there.
Wow.
And people was hitting her all on social media talking about how good the book was. And somebody contacted Dr. Verna about doing a public speaking in London. So we're just trying to verify if it's legit or not. And if it is, then you know, we're gonna try to go to London.
Yep.
Amen.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, that's you know, boy, what a great story of maturation. You know, the process of moving from adolescence toward manhood. That's a process. Somebody say process.
Process.
Yeah, that's what you were hearing really in him. And that's kind of what I heard in you is for you to get to that place, a certain process had to have taken place with others so that by the time you got to that point, you had information that you could use to fix it. So that was great. Pass this to James. And then is there a cup? Yeah, no cup. So who's next? Duval. Come on, Duval's next.
Ah, man. I mean, you know what? I was just thinking about that too, and I was telling my family, you know, just being truthful to them and also to my spouse that I'm with now. And I told them, I said, I've never been happy in my life. Ever. 47 years old, never been happy. So,
Somebody stop the music. Wait. That was a profound statement. I'm just glad to be in the room when you said it. This close from listening, and then here you are making that comment.
I needed it too, because I needed to hear this. You know, and when I say that, because I'm like, being in a healthy relationship, never have, you know, I chase, you know, got me in a lot of trouble. Call Shane, call Willie, help me, you know. And cause I would have never told neither one of y'all none of this stuff, cause this is just something, you know, you try to hide. But letting the person know who you are, letting them know what you've been through, and still respect you for who you are as a woman, I'm happy.
Wow.
I'm just saying, I'm happy and I'm joyful, you know, cause I would never take a woman to my mama's house. I would never take no woman to my mama's house, cause I always thought they never was worth it. You know, cause I always chase, and they chase me. You know, man,
Did you take it to your mama's house?
yeah, she's been, no, I didn't take over there. She went to Chicago several times since I've been here. And she's on the way Friday. So, I mean, I don't know what the bond is, but the click was there. And my mama loved her to death. And so, and I'm still taking my time. Because, you know, I got to ask myself sometimes, you know, I'm starting to now question myself. You know, I talk in the mirror with the ball, you all right? How you hot me? You know, I mean, I never had a woman to just tell me, hey, slow down. It's time for you to go in the house. This is your curfew. I'm just saying, you know, cause I always ran everything and everybody. So just to hear that and see that, if it ain't, and then if it's not general, if it's not fake, Cause I always looked at fake stuff. I said, yeah, they just using me. Yeah, sugar daddy, whatever they want to call me. But as far as put myself in sex wise, I just did what I wanted to do. I got 10 kids, 5 girls, 5 boys, 17 grandkids, 6 kids' mothers. You know what I'm saying? I started at 15 years old. Never, you know, I never talked about this, not even to my own parents. You know, cause I, you know, this stuff we don't do, big, you know, just creeped.
Yeah.
And creep get me in trouble.
Yeah.
Creep always got me in trouble, big time. You know, so I mean, this lady, this young lady here, man, I'm talking about. I mean, I ain't never cared about nobody. I didn't care about no woman. I dog you. Cause of the smile and all that, you would think I'm this. But it's a deeper smile back then. You know, it's some deep. So I'm, like I said, this is a real smile right here now, y'all. And I can brag on the woman.
Give him a little hand right there.
Yeah.
Wow, that was, you said a lot. All right. You said a lot right there. I was thinking about this song, let the church say amen. You know? Because I believe something done happened, but you almost missed it. But something done happened. And you seem lighter, your spirit is lighter. You just seem more peaceful. Your language it's got a match what you just stated as your reality. As your mouth will bless that person. Your mouth. And if you can tie your language, your daily language, small talk, you can tie that to this. Well, it says, he who findeth
Wife. Find it the good thing.
remember some preachers are in here. The preachers was in here, oh my goodness. Give him
First of all, it's good to be here. I'm glad to see you guys. I haven't been in a while. But, I just, in reading this,
Say your name, just
Callum Rashad, a bunch of new faces actually. I couldn't help but, you know, think about relationships I've been in and how important it is to not have sex. Sex is important. You all know that. Angel backing off what Tier said though. Not having sex be the forefront of the relationship just because it masks a lot of stuff and people will be crazy sexually compatible but like horrible for one another outside of the bedroom. And I've been in a lot of relationships like that, and it's like the only time we ever got along was in the bedroom, and then we'd be fighting in the bed after sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've tried to with the women since I woke up and got out of prison. I've tried to like leave sex to a little bit later and just try to get to know who she is. If there is compatibility, like yeah, she's pretty, she's beautiful, she's thick in all the right places, all of that, and that's important for attraction. It's so important to be attracted to the woman you want to be with, or man you want to be with. But like, how is her spirit attracted to your spirit? Do you guys have things in common? Do you have? How is the conversation? You know what I'm saying? There's a conversation, and I've seen this too. Even in high school, you be talking about football. All of a sudden, it gets back to how pretty she is, and then all of a sudden, you're talking about the bedroom again, and all the conversations tend to sway in that direction. But I found that, especially with the woman I'm with now, it's really cool because like we can talk all day and sex won't even come up, but as soon as we get together, you know what I'm saying, it's like magic. So and ironic, it's funny that I would show up today. I just got done with Freedom School, which is why I've been absent. But
give him a little hand for Freedom School. piece of work right there.
Yeah, they work real hard. But I actually just went to see my jeweler last Friday
Mm-hmm, all right.
About.
engagement ring.
Oh.
Picture of her, and I don't know if y'all want to pass it around, but it's a picture of her and I. We were at a wedding, and she won't stop talking about weddings now. I'm not sure. She's a good girl.
She's a good girl. Yes, sir.
A lot of life, good spirit in her, and Pops likes her, which is important.
I love her.
My mother likes her.
Yeah,
And we both kind of came up since we met each other, and that's important to me because it's always been either this girl helped me so much and I don't even know how I can help her, or she's helped me so much and she don't know how I can help her. But like I got her when I first met her. She was kind of coming out of a bad relationship and was, you know what I mean, was dealing with horrible men and all this other stuff. I met her, got her on her feet, helped her get into St. Paul Public Schools. Now she's going to, I think it's Augsburg or St. Thomas to get her teaching license and come to teach and get her master's.
Beautiful.
And
Come on, man.
She's walking around with her undergrad, not really knowing what she wanted to do. And I was like, you're custom made for the school system. You know what I'm saying? We need people like you, especially people of color like you to deal with some of these people, children of color who've been through traumatic stuff. So I helped her come up, and she, she's helping me fix my credit and all types. She's just a mastermind with the business stuff, like. So yeah, I'm like, why not her? You know what I'm saying? We're compatible in all these other areas. Things I've asked her to fix, she's fixed. Things she's asked me to fix, I fixed. I'm working on some of them still. I'm a tourist.
Come on.
But nah, otherwise, I don't see a reason why not. So.
That's right. That's right. Donald go. You left? Oh, okay. Somebody else. Who else is feeling brave and want to really just go there?
Well, I got some.
Go ahead. What you got, son?
I don't talk about. I've written about it slightly in some of my homework papers when I was locked up. But my idea of sexuality was kind of skewed when I was younger because, and much like you kind of expressed, it was a family friend. My grandmother owned a great big house. It was like 8 bedrooms, and to pay for the house, she would take in boarders. So we had a lot of people that was in and out of the house on a yearly basis. You know what I mean? So one of my grandmother's friends had a daughter, maybe about 21 or something like that. So her and I developed a sexual relationship when I was about 7. So from the time I was 7 till I was about 13, her and I was pretty much just getting it on anytime we had an opportunity. As a kid, you know what I'm saying, your brain really don't really know what it is. Right. It really doesn't know what it is, but it's like, I enjoyed the McDonald's and stuff like this, the brain and stuff like that, because I'm a kid. That's what we're talking about this now. But because of that, my view or my perception of what my sexual relationship with a woman would be like, it took its cue from that. So there were instances where not only was I sexually active with her, but sometimes I would be with her and we would spend the night over one of her friends' house, another female, and we would all share one another. Wow. So I'm experiencing this thing at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. I'm experiencing a lot of other things in my life at that time too. But that kind of set the bar for what my sexual appetite would be. Right. So I had always just kind of looked at women like, yeah, this is what it's going to be when I get with her. You know what I mean? So I kind of really never had a relationship. The longest relationship I ever had with anybody was maybe 2 years, and that was only because I had a son with her. Now, amazingly enough, I only have 1 child. But I've had a lot of sexual partners. And lucky enough, I've never gotten sick behind any of them. But sitting in prison for 24 years, it really, really gave me perspective. It really, really gave me perspective. It really helped me to understand that I was sick because that was not normal. So I had to do everything right. So I had to figure out for myself what it was that I needed to do for myself to get on a level where now I could be vulnerable enough to open myself up.
Wow. Come on, give us some love right there.
This is my first time ever really seeing it. I'm not ashamed.
That's right.
Amen.
You know, amen. Wow, brother. That's something, man. Well, you know what's so beautiful is that, you know, you're comfortable enough in this room, you know, to just to relieve yourself of some of that baggage, you know, and then until you can get it out there, you know what I mean, we still hiding it in a little bit of way, you know, it still plays a role. But when you get it out there like you just did, like Duval is saying, you know what I mean, this stuff starts to, the bubbles start busting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't feel like you're by yourself, because we, you know, some of the rest of us in here, we done had some stuff too.
Yeah.
And you know, then that, you're so right about the word cute.
Yeah.
It, you know, because it seems non-intrusive. You know, a cute.
Cute.
No big thing.
Right.
But
Pinch.
yeah, that's a
Pinch.
yeah. My grandma called it a smidge. But you know, it's just all you need. It's just a smidgen, and then you know, bam, you know, you all off into some stuff. I'm gonna just throw it to Dexter Harper right here, because we're talking about relationships and all this and that, and I don't know, Dex, how you feeling and this and that, but hey, son, what you got? Anything?
Oh, well, I haven't been in a relationship since my good thing passed away on me. So I'm working on myself now, you know, I took it hard, but we had a great relationship. Sex was good, relationship was good, we was tight, She's on bread.
All right, that's okay.
White on rice.
Uh-huh.
And everything above, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I'm talking to myself, I took a setback, you know, I took it hard, you know. I didn't reach out, you know, like I should have, you know, having it by myself, you know, it hit me real hard, but, you know, one thing, I know she's in a better place now. You know, I am also, you know, I've been working on myself, you know, I am going back to jail for a few months. You know, I didn't get violated, but the thing is, you know, I needed that sit down for me, because I didn't really know how to do it on my own. And I needed that time away from work and everything, you know, to get myself together. Now, I'm still not working right now. I'm in RC and treatment. I've been there.
Give him a hand for that.
Yes, I've been there since April the 12th. So, you know, I'm getting through that. I was inpatient. I'm outpatient now. I moved yesterday.
Where you at?
So, I'm on 24th and Pillsbury. Yeah, Chris is one of the alternative homes right now. I got a roommate, which is cool. So, I'm doing outpatient now. And you know, I made that other step, and you know, I'm doing pretty good.
Chris turned you on to the house?
No, I already know what it was. I'm saying, no, I seen Chris there.
Yeah.
One of that one, he's on Portland, but I'm on Philly. I'm in the better one, Chris.
Okay, hold on.
So I'm still working on myself, so I got time, and you know, I have no worries and stuff like that. You know, everything's coming together. You know, my PO is a wonderful man. You know, he had my back all the way. You know what I want.
What was your PO's name?
Charles, Jared Charles.
Jared?
Yeah, Jared Charles.
Let me just say something about that. Jared knew that Cam had passed, and that was, you guys were as close to married as you could be without the paperwork. And he could have easily, if he had this guy, you get what I'm saying, he would have went back to the penitentiary. But the guy had compassion. Philip, this what I see, but he had compassion. Yeah. Just think about that.
Yes.
Do you have any compassion? He had compassion for him. He did shut him down a little while, but it's a big difference in going down to the county jail and going to the penitentiary. It's a difference in those things.
And he didn't shut me down, I shut myself down.
You know,
Now,
there it is. There it
oh,
is. That's good. Give him some love right there. The reason why I just said that, John, I want to make that point clear, is when you mess around and go back, it attacks your will to win. And this is why you have to fight, not be afraid to fight while you're here. Because if, you know what I'm saying? It attacks you in your inward parts.
Yeah, just saying that I was looking like, man, what am I doing?
Yes.
I'm saying, what am I doing? What happened? I had a lot of reflecting to do with stuff like that. Then I look at it, I always had what's wrong with me?
Right.
And I figured that, you know what I'm saying? I said, I'm what's wrong with me.
Right.
I'm the problem. I need to work. I need to work on that.
That's the problem and the solution.
Right. All wrapped up. Malik, what you got, brother?
You know, I had some help with the relationships with one particular relationship that I was in, because my interaction was with women, with people, was all about me. So I had to have someone look at my behaviors and tell me, hey, look, are you in this all about you, or what are you really bringing to the relationship? And one of the big deals that I had to learn is that, my stuff is valuable too. You can't just get this. You have to take your time. You have to be invested. And equally yoked is one of the things we find in the Bible. One of the things, and this is something that I had to work on too, and this brings it out. This acts of faith brings it out. If I'm operating at a level, and I'm going to look at a scale, if I'm operating at a level of 3 or 4, am I going to attract a 10? I'm not going to attract a 10. I want a 10, amen? But I can't get one because I'm not there. So someone said I had to work on myself. Someone said I had to do those things for myself. Now that I grow and now that I mature, I learn these things, learn how to bring something, learn how to add to someone's life. And I can really be my full self. Then I can attract an 8, 9, or 10. And I think I have one on the, I'm in a courtship right now.
All right.
That's official. That's official terminology. That's old school. Courting, you say that you have intentions.
That's right.
Well, that's good, man. That's good. Phil, what happened to that lady? That's rules.
I'd have to tell you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, go ahead. It's on you then.
For me, there was a guy, he stayed next door to me, and I always wanted to be like him. He was older than me. He knew how to interpret women's language real, like when I'd be arguing with my girlfriend, he said, "Oh, Phil, tell her this, and he says women speak." I said, "Why don't you just tell me what's on her mind?" He said, "Well, that's just the way they communicate." And he would have 4 or 5 women in the room with him, and I said, how can you do that? They're not arguing with each other. He said, "Oh, with me, they always know what they get. I don't lie to them. They just know this is what." So I always aspired to want to be like this guy. Wow. But I really didn't want to be like him, but I did, because I felt in the streets, you had to have a way of handling women, so to speak. And so for years, I had this distorted view of what my relationship was with the woman. She's supposed to do this. I can't be satisfied with one, because she might be good for this, and the other one's good for that.
Oh, Lord.
And so Now that I'm a nice guy, I can't seem to get no one.
Don't look at it.
So, but look now, see, when you become a nice guy, then you start attracting real women.
Yeah.
When you become a nice guy. You know what, and you know what he shared though, and others of us have this story with different person, was the cues. The cues that Ann and I talked about. He just talked about this guy across the hall gave him cues. Right? Now, you know, nothing good came out of whatever that man was doing. You get what I mean? Because you know, he don't like ugly. And at the end of the day, that stuff is going to blow up and you just be lucky to be standing up when it doesn't.
I got one thing to slide in.
What you going to slide
The
in?
partner will come in when you're not looking.
Yeah.
If you go out looking for a partner, you'll never find the right one. Trust me. Y'all witnessed it. I done had some issues with me looking. I wouldn't made it happen. You know, spit the game and this, that, this, nothing. All along straight sour. But when I wasn't looking, this young lady just appeared.
Slipped up on him.
Right in my presence. Wow! Bam! We connect.
Right in the kiss.
And now she's a licensed nurse. And she on me, like you was talking about how your girl is on you. She on me big time about my diabetes.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm like calling her mama now.
Go ahead. And Tony is losing weight too. I don't know what's happening. She got me right
Go ahead. I do want to slide this in here because Pop talked about it. Pop's wife talked about it. Dr. Vernon talked about it. So does
Yeah, I seen it, Vero.
my man Woodrow.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine.
One thing that showed up with me, and the thing is, it's the list. One thing that this girl that I'm seeing right now, she has several of the qualities that are on the list.
Somebody say the list.
The list.
So I got to jump in. Go ahead. See, you know, before you become aware, you don't even have no list.
Right.
You're just looking at some other things.
Right.
The women, I'm talking to the women too.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when you start to mature and think, wait a minute, I got to rule some stuff out. Say rule it out.
Rule it out.
Well, when you get to the point where you start ruling some stuff out, that's when the list appears. Now the list was already there. It was already there.
Right.
But it's covered up under them clues.
Right.
Yeah. So now Malik is at the point where the list has become known to him. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's for real, and the list is real, and I can look at her, and I can look at the values that she has, and I can say these are a part of the list, and you know, none of this really happened. I mean, and there's, you know, I fight against principalities and, you know, all that stuff, but none of this really happened until I presented the list to God.
Wow.
And then,
Amen.
yeah, it was one of those things. It's like, hey, how you doing?
And it's scary too, though.
And it's a
when
little
you say that,
scary.
because
It's like,
I kept praying, you know, I'm tired, God. Tired of being in the slum.
yeah.
I'm tired. Bring me somebody. I don't ask for nothing else. I don't, you know, pay my tithes. Go to church faithfully. You know, I'm like that assurance thing. Don't mess with my church. So when you do that, and I kept asking, you know, I'm gonna take my time, God. And I don't know what happened. It just appeared.
Thomas, what you got? This is a good conversation for you to get into.
For me? Well, I don't know how much time we have.
All the time for you, Thomas.
Thanks, Pop. You know, for me, I would have to say, growing up, relationships with women, that was just the thing. You know, it was it's the way they were. Relationships were sex. That's all it was. That's what it was for. And that started when I was 13. So relationships have always been, you know, you have a woman or a girl in your life that's for sex. That's it. And that continued. Well, that continued until a few years ago. I mean, my thinking changed before that, but I really didn't start thinking relationship-wise differently until a few years ago when I started getting closer to this exploration and things like that. It's like, okay, relationships are, I mean, I have to really think about them.
Absolutely.
Um,
But let me take you back, that's good. But why did you feel the way you just described that you felt? What caused that?
that was the influences of those around me, you know, taught me that this is how it is. My older brothers worked at the bars, they were the bouncers, so they were like, hey, you go there, you knock their old man out, they're gonna grab you by the junk and you're gonna go home. And that's how it was. I mean, I grew up around Duffy's and Norma Jeans and Kirsten's over south, so that's how it was.
It seemed like it. I'm gonna show you
Right.
something. I'm gonna show you something. It was never like that.
Right.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
A few, you know, you're in this little clique, and then that's how they clicked up.
Yeah.
But other people went to Duffy's and all them places. They had a good old time. They didn't have none of that. So I'm just trying to tease out those beginnings, and look how long that lasted for you.
Yeah, it was a lifetime. I didn't start having people check my thinking until I was 42. And then it's taken this long. I'm 51 now. It's taken this long to be in that position where the relationship I'm in now has no basis of sex. It's like, this person really makes me happy.
Wow.
Like, I've been with this person for maybe 6 to 9 months, and I laugh more with that person than I did with my ex-wife who I was with for 12 and a half years. So
Give him a hand for that. Is your ex-wife, is she all right? Okay, all right.
Probably not. She's
Okay.
probably in that same thinking and lifestyle.
Wow. Interesting. Hey, Thomas, thank you, man. Thank you, man. That's good. And you know, just to let us peer into your window for a minute. Is women. Everybody's life matters. Your life matters. That's right. What you get to do, it matters. It's important. And, you know, so give him a hand, man. You know, here's Donald now. Donald is a married man already. You know what I mean? And maybe we need to let's hear from the husband man about this thing a little bit.
You know, I feel like I'm blessed, I'm honored, you know. I asked God to bring me somebody I could live with, somebody that would understand me, you know. And I mean, all the time I get incarcerated, you know, I realized that I had a lot of broken pieces. And so whoever had to come meet me had to put up with those broken pieces. And they come out at different strange times. Even I don't know when they're coming out. So I asked God to bring me somebody that could tolerate that, somebody that could put up with that. You know what I mean? Because anybody can't do it. You know what I mean? And I didn't want anybody. I didn't want nobody that was going to be a yes sir, no sir. I wanted somebody that was going to challenge me, somebody that's going to make me slow down, make me think about what I do before I do it. And I prayed for that. You know, I've been through those relationships where it was just a fly-by-night relationship. I got what I could get, and she got what she could get, and I've been through all that. You know what I mean? So I wanted something that was meaningful, something to sustain me, something to give me a reason to get up each day to stay out here. Because I had violated several times because I was just running crazy. You know what I mean? Just trying to go back and find something that I couldn't regain again, you know? And my wife thought it was her, but it really wasn't her, it was me. You know what I mean? She's like, what is it about me that you don't like that keeps you doing these things, right? I said, it ain't you, baby, it was me, right? I know you have to personalize it because it's happening to you. And you're experiencing these bad things because of my choices and my behavior, but it's not you, it's me. You know what I mean? But she said to me, well, what I want to do is try to be a little more patient, understand where you come from and what you've been through. She said, I have no kind of imagination how you could spend 30 years locked up, incarcerated, around the people that you were around, the mentality that you got. You know, so she said, I'm going to be a little more patient with you, and I'm going to see what happens, right? And when she said that, you know what I mean, that was like open sesame, you know what I mean? The lights went on, shit started flashing. She came back like,
the stuff went on. You can sit down there, brother. You know, you'll take your hat off, brother.
I'm on here kind of nappy though.
That's all. Everybody used to that. We used to all that. Come on, brother.
But what I was saying though, when all this happened, I finally got a flashback to where I was supposed to be and what my responsibility was.
Yeah.
You know, people that loved on me, you know what I mean? They loved on me for their own reasons, hey brother. And I didn't understand that. I'm used to pushing people away. I had got to my bit where I had got to the point where I hate to see people leave me and, you know, say goodbye. Before they left, a month or two before they left, I'd push away because it hurt so bad to see them go out that door and leave me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't really have that kind of intimacy and that kind of vulnerability going because I had so long to go. But once I got to the bride, the dynamics changed. You know what I mean? I got to where I asked for, I got to be where I wanted. Now I have to act right. To keep it.
Come on now.
Right, to keep it. So what happened was, Shane kept telling me, come to pop, you know. You know, because that's the way to hold me accountable, hold myself accountable. Hearing some things, right? Some unpleasant things I may not want to hear. I wasn't ready for that. And while I was out there in the wilderness, not ready for all that, I was having all these terrible consequences, right? That put a serious strain on our marriage. But her being who she is, she said, I'm in it to win. I'm in it the long haul. You know, I mean, you basically can't get rid of me like that, right? I'm in it, right? And I mean, that's magic, man. You know, that's magic and that's special. And I've just been blessed. Now, right now, as we sit in this chair right now, hey, it's on crack.
Donald's wife, we're just gonna mention her name, that's Sylvia. Sylvia Anderson Amos. And she from like a first family of the North Side kind of in some ways. You know, they're well known and highly respected. And Donald, just tell us how many times after being married did you violate?
Twice.
And she still waited. And now these guys have found that thing.
Yes.
Yep.
And when we see you together, we can see it.
Right.
You can see that thing is doing that right. And the peace has come over you. Like I was trying to tell you before. That edge is not the same.
No, it's not.
You get it?
Yeah.
And wow, it's so beautiful to be a witness to it.
Well, you were there. A lot of you guys was there. Y'all seen it. So it wasn't like it was something you heard. Y'all seen it. You know what I mean? Y'all see it. Some of y'all actually walked with me through it. So if you was right there spectating and sitting watching it, you know what I mean? So it manifests itself the way it was supposed to be. My life was supposed to be a living testimony for you to see. Our relationship was supposed to be a relationship of marriage for you to emulate. So it's a role model for you. And we're conscious of that, and we deal with that.
Yes, sir. Isaac, come on. I was getting that.
And for me, growing up, I was an athlete, so sports come first before a woman. And for me, you know, I love women, I love to flirt, and I just want to take you to the show, she'll take you home and see you when I see you. But when it's that one that I get attached to, I find it really hard for myself to not be selfish. So that's always been my struggle. And that's what I've been working on. That's what I've been looking at. So for me, this is a time to get to know me. You know what I'm saying? And since
give my hand right there.
This is the first time and the longest time I've ever not been in a relationship. And since I've been out, females, women, whatever, they would come at me. And it's been hard saying no. You know, I don't even get on Facebook, don't know about no Facebook, but all these guys are, look what she said. I don't care what she said. She don't know me. I don't want to know that woman. I'm thinking about that woman. And I mean, they're beautiful women, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for a soulmate, you know. I'm looking for somebody that can give me, and I can give them, and I can share myself openly and talk about things that I've never talked about with people before. I thought I had that one when I got out, but it didn't work out like that. And it was a struggle letting go. But I knew I had to let go, not only for my best interest, but for her best interest. So here I am now. I'm at peace. I love my job. I love the integrity that I have when I'm dealing with women that I've never had before, you know. I do have all these numbers, but I don't call all these numbers. It's like once in a while I'll take somebody out for a date. That's what it'll be. It'll be a date and the end of it, you know. But I'm just not looking right now.
Give him a hand right there. You know, but that was a lot. So you know, Isaac is fell in love with bicycle riding.
In the storm.
Wait a minute though. Wait, you gotta hear what I'm saying. So y'all spill something or something like that?
Yeah,
Don't put that on the
paper
wall.
towel.
Yeah, just send that down. Is that what you guys want?
On me?
Yeah. No, hold up, bro. So this guy, man, I mean, I actually watched him fall in love with the bike. An inanimate object.
Right.
But I mean, he put his whole self in. I mean, Isaac is look at him.
Yeah.
He's in good shape, man. He's walking back and forth to St. Paul. He's looking like he's in his NBA days, you know, his junior NBA days. And I'm telling you this or sharing this with you because if you can do that, you are moving toward this other thing. You get it? And just with the care that you're giving that bride and that bike, the care and the thoughtfulness and the effort,
Gentleness.
you know, and it's right. And I mean, these are some beautiful qualities. This is why we had a bicycle ride planned around Isaac, because he fell in love with riding bikes. We said, wait, we're gonna ride with you, and we got rained out. So I'm gonna ask Tierra to put us together a new date. So we're gonna meet out at Calhoun, and then just figure out how to get on them trails and ride, and you know, you can rent some bikes, and then we have 3 or 4 or 5, maybe little you know, some old bikes. If you don't have no rent money, you know, you can still go. So I want to make sure we get it in, that we don't let the season go by and we don't get out there and ride and hang out with him a little bit. But I appreciate what Isaac had to share, and I want to say this to the men, pop guys who we've been together for a lot of years. You know, when you just come home like that, what I've noticed, y'all look fresh. Y'all got a glow on you. You know, usually you're in some shape and all of this and that. And so people have been subjected to some things, and now, you know, you kind of look like, wow, that could be. And then the truth of the matter is you haven't done your homework. Say the homework. Homework. So see, then, you know, if you haven't done your homework, see, then you're back in that same old piece. And even though you were thinking about the number one way for one of our guys in this room to go back to jail or prison is a failed domestic relationship. So you have to remember, you know, this is a part of the work. It's a piece of the work. So we've heard from the guys, and Sharon, I want to hear from you, brother. Go ahead.
I've been married for 15 years. I divorced in my last year in jail.
So what'd you say?
I divorced in my last year in jail. A lot of you guys know that, you know, when you're incarcerated, you know, it's a lot of things you can't deal with. when you locked up, so we try to put them out our mind. Sex is one of them, so I have a lot of control over that. I used to be a womanizer. I used to money, sex, whatever, and I used to try to let people build trust with me. So now I just learned to give people trust and then I knock it down. That's just the easiest way for me. I don't try to let people build it up. I just knock it down. Start you at 100%. It can be 70% of the stuff that I like about you, 30% of the stuff that I don't like about you. If 30% outweigh the 70% and we can fix that, I might stay with you. But at the same time, 90% of the stuff that I like about you and 10% of the stuff I don't like about you. And that 10% outweigh that 90% that I don't like about you. Wow. Because sometimes we got zero tolerance for things. So I was talking to my wife. I had met this female like 3 weeks ago. We going out, we eating, we doing this, we doing that. Now me and my wife, we good friends. So I tell her about it. And my wife kind of got like, my ex-wife kind of got like upset. And when I took a look back and I said, I really like this female. I kid you not. When I stood back and evaluated her, she reminded me of my wife so bad. You know, and it was for the wrong reasons. So right now I'm just really just taking my time trying to, you know, Isaac and Level Bikes. I just synced them on Selby, Selby days. I'm just taking my time right now, really not trying to rush into things. It's really not about sex or looks. I can love anybody. Isaac loves his bikes. Sometimes they say you gotta love yourself before you can love somebody else. Sometimes you gotta learn to love intangible things. Some people to get to know how to learn somebody else. And right now I'm just pretty much just out here, you know, trying to build myself back up. You know, I'm trying to come to the meetings I work. You know, missed a couple of Tuesdays, but right now it's not about the looks or, you know, how a person dress or anything like that. For me, you know, I've owned 2 businesses up here in St. Paul before, a clothing store and a hair salon over in St. Paul. It's about where your mind is. And if you're compatible with me or if you're on my level, then that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a friend, a partner, and somebody that I can love and trust. If you don't have those things, I don't care about how you look, I don't care about how you dress. If you're not compatible with me or into what I'm into, and it can be vice versa because, you know, we got to do things that our mates, you know, do that we don't probably like to do. You know, we got to ball up and take that and do things. But for me, it's all about the mind. It's where you at. It's where your mind is. That's it.
That's good. I'm going to hold him right there. Give him some love. That's really the first time that, you know, he's come out, you know, and said some things since he's been coming to group. And I felt like this conversation was one that we're hearing from him, and this conversation could be very helpful. You know what I mean? And I can see even in just listening to you, you know, you on this growth curve. And, you know, you ain't there, but you at least are aware that it does require growth. And to be aware of that is helpful in you getting to wherever this place is. Remember, nobody is ever going to be able to give you 100% of anything. That's right. You can't. Nobody, I say nobody. Nobody. Nobody is going to be able to be your everything. Nobody can give you 100%. And you know, men, you know, because we are, in some ways, we develop slower and we have insecurity issues. We believe, without ever talking about it, she's supposed to give me 100%. Somebody say 100%. 100%. Well, y'all ain't saying that, but I'm teaching you. And you know, now she should know she can't get 100% from you because that ain't who you are. But you want 100, say 100. I found this to be true, especially of my sons who got deep into drugs. Them fiends want 100% from you. I just saw being clear. I'm talking about them fiends. Say them fiends. No, I'm sorry. Them fiends want everything.
Right.
Without giving nothing. Oh, wait a minute. You can't give nothing. They want 100%. Watch this though. If you got somebody in your life and he or she is a good 80, huh? Say a good 80.
Good
80. See, sometimes you'll have a good 80, huh? But the 20 start looking big to you. Right. Huh? The 20 start looking big. Say the 20. The 20. It's looking big. And sometimes you'll mess around, huh? And go lustfully after the 20 and leave the 80. And then you wake up in some other place with some other person. 20%, somebody say 20%.
100% of 20.
So you have to remember the 80-20 rule. Say 80-20. 80-20. Say it louder than that. 80-20. If you got 80, Rick, say 80. Just let the 20 walk past you. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's so sweet. And this is what you say when she goes by, or he. 20%.
While we're on the subject, I want to tell this brother here, man. We watching you, man, right? We're sitting there and you give off a good vibe to us, right? We think that, I'm just speaking for two people, right? But let me speak for myself. I think and I believe that you are a good brother, right? And you are a pop material, and you're a leader in your own way, right? So to sit back like you do and observe the way that you do, I think it was really good for you to come out to say some stuff you said, right? So people know that you're not just sitting there, you know what I mean? That you do got this potential, that you can express that, right? And that you got some things that people have to be aware of, you know what I mean? Because that's what the room is about. We're about growth, we're about leadership. You know what I mean? You can't hide out with it. If you got the gifts, you might as well bring them out. So that's what we do here. So I wanted to say that to you and let you know that you're not missing in action. We see you. You know what I mean? We see you.
We get to that.
I remember when I first told that lesson. It's almost that lesson between he said that you get 100% of
100% of the 20. Well, that's a rough deal.
I got one thing I like to, acknowledge that we got a lot of experience from these women in here, and we talking about all us men about our relationship with men. I mean, with women. We like to hear from the women.
Yeah, that's what he's going now.
Can I say something?
Yes. What's your name?
That's why I was trying to introduce myself, because I feel like an outcast.
No, I cut anybody off in this room. Just so you know, wait. Just so you know, this is love. This is all love. First, I want you to listen a little bit to what we're saying. And then, once you do, then you know how to jump in. So go ahead.
I understand. I don't want to jump in just like that, you know what I mean? I just want to introduce myself and tell you a bit about myself.
Go ahead.
My name is Reese, you feel me? I just met this brother right there with the black sweater on outside in the red.
Yeah.
I just got out of the penitentiary myself. I just did a little time, you feel me? And right now, I went from St. Cloud to Stillwater, from Stillwater to West City, then Moose Lake, you feel me?
Well, you made the run.
Yeah, I mean, I made the runs, but it got me out. You got me out the prison, you know what I mean?
Well, welcome him home, man.
Appreciate that. But now since I've been home, I went back to Chicago, my roots went back to Chicago. you know, I had a rough start, you know what I mean? I came back down here, you know, I didn't have my ID or anything, you know what I mean? So right now I'm having a difficult time right now, as in finding, I could say finding shelter, as in finding financial assets, you know. So I just got a job, but my job wouldn't want me to bring my ID in and all that. So right now, because I just came up to this man, you know, I went against my pride, you know, I went against my own pride, and I came to this man asking him for a couple dollars of spirit, you know what I mean? So I can, you know, so I can be able to feed me and my son, and I can be able to, you know, either go to a hotel room or find one of them, somebody I know up here to pay them a couple dollars to spend the night. You know what I'm saying? And he told me to come to this place and let y'all know what I'm going through. And I really don't like, you know, being vulnerable like this and letting people know things that I don't know, basically, you know what I mean? But just want to let her know.
Reese, right?
Exactly.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Yeah, well, that's good. Give him some love, man. So, it was you that met him? So maybe you gotta jump in and say your name and introduce yourself.
I'm O'Shea for those that don't know me. For the ones that do, it's good to see my brothers. It's funny because I'm one of the original Pop guys. I was in the original class and learned a lot from Pop. You know, and come home and I was around with the groups and everything, but then I had to go venture out. I'm like, I got to move, I got to move, and I started my journey, you know, and it kind of pulled me away from coming to the groups. And every time Pop see me, come to the group, we right here, the group waiting on you, this and that. Finally, I came with Pharaoh yesterday because Pharaoh came into town, and I brought him to see Pop yesterday. And I was talking about Donald yesterday. And I said I'm coming back tomorrow. You know,
got them pictures of that.
I'm coming back just to make sure, you know, I get it into the group and get back into the swing thing. It's funny because, like I said, it's been years since I've been in the group. I get off my bike and I'm getting ready to walk into the door, and he was like, hey, this guy right here, hey brother, I don't know you, excuse me for a minute. I go over there and talk to him. And he explained his situation. And I'm like, well, I ain't been in here in a minute, but it's a whole group of men in there that if you go in there and you share your situation, the resources is in there. Probably more resources than you probably plan to get when you get in there. And it's funny about the now concept because I happen to be in the right place at the right time. You know, and where he at in his person is right now, I believe this group might be able to help him. And me being in my now, saying this is where I'm going to get in tune, was able to put me in a situation where I can bring this brother here. And I'm hoping by the time he leave, he get what he need, not just financially, not just the answers that he was seeking, but the ones that he don't know he need.
That's going to come through the fellowshipping that we're doing right now. This is that picture from yesterday. The fellowshipping that we're doing right now, because everybody in here has been in this position that you were in. You know what I mean? And this is what we try to do, is love and support each other. I just want to mention about O'Shea here. I think it was 06 when we met. It seemed like it was just a short time ago. It was many years ago. And they was calling him Smurf at the time. I never called him that, but and you know, I just, connected with the brother, and we stayed together for some years. And so, you know, it's O'Shea who has partnered with his victim's mother, Miss Johnson. We had Mary Johnson, and these guys have formed a relationship out of their mutual pain and brokenness. A phoenix rose up. I'm just going to wait for you to think about that. And they have been around the country together, talking to groups like this and others, right? I watched them on the show, The View.
The View, yeah.
They was on The View. Wasn't that you on The View?
Yep.
I will tell you something. It's the only time I ever watched it was the time he was on. I ain't mad at The View, don't get me wrong. But I'm not home at that time. But you know, this I did make it to watch this one, where him and Mary with Mary Olfen and were able to talk about what has grown out of their brokenness. He shot and killed her son. Yet, in all of that pain from both of them, something beautiful has come out of it, which is a testimony to that young man's living. I don't hear you.
Yeah.
And somebody has gotten help from the surrender that you have to have done in order for that relationship to be real and meaningful and godly. And man, I've just been proud of it. I haven't told you, I haven't had a time to sit with you and just tell you, how proud I am of what you allowed to take place, because prior to them connecting, they was going to connect in a restorative justice circle. But POP came ahead of that. And then POP was up here carving out a path. Look. A path that they were both getting ready to go down. But nobody knew. And O'Shea started to grow inside on that path. And while he was on that path in prison, the restorative justice piece came forward for him and Mary. The victim impact. And man, these guys have done some amazing things. And there's more work to be done, because we're hard on each other around the country. 56 shot in 2 days in Chicago. This was last weekend. Two days. I said 2 days. That's warlike.
Yes.
So man, I'm so glad to have you back in our bosom here. And you could just feel how it is, we just been waiting on you to come.
That's right.
Come back and just sit with us a little while and just allow us to love on you a little bit. And see you. And I give him something, man.
I'm glad to see you.
Y'all walk it out like brothers, man.
Pops, when you say that victim impact stuff, and I met your brother and I met the mom, and I want to let you know how it got a lot of people right now today to speak inside. It's powerful. Y'all punching it.
Wow.
I know POP is punching it, but y'all punching it, and it gives the men's that a voice. You want to get back.
Wow.
And man, that's powerful in that, man. I'm gonna let you know that.
Yeah. The Restorative Justice Committee in Rush City.
Yes.
They so powerful. They raised money and you gave it to Turning Point.
Yes, we did.
Woody and them. And gave it to Turning Point as a donation. It was a respectable amount of money.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes,
and this is what he's saying. This is, you guys have made a way for that restorative justice piece to really become real.
Yes.
Now that's a story of redemption.
Yes.
That lets you know that God can heal anything. Well, if he can heal that, he can heal anything. And that's a testimony to you and to Mrs. Johnson. Y'all did the work on yourself first to be ready to come together. And who could ever predict that? You know what I mean? That's like two enemies becoming friends. You know what I mean? Because some people, you don't even have to harm their family relatives. You can just harm their ego or their vanity. And they're like, I ain't gonna mess with your life.
Right.
But, through the action that you took, y'all rose up on that to show people this is what God does, right? He doesn't care. That's powerful, man. That's powerful.
Go ahead. Come on, yeah, please come in.
Powerful.
Take your seat for a minute, James.
Yeah, I haven't been around. I haven't been around a lot because a lot of challenges and as well as transition in my own life that I had to put a lot of dedication and ownership into. But I'm doing okay, and transition is still happening. But I just wanted to make a comment about the value of this group. In my current profession right now, I deal with individuals that all have felony backgrounds, and they're in a 6-month construction training program. And so I get a chance to see them from when they first hit with applications and all that, to where if they do get in, the training in that, if any sort of intervention occurs or negative or positive interaction, progressive or progress or setbacks, I'm there for every benchmark. And what I see is that post-release and post-preparation for any other challenges that they're facing, okay, you go ahead and you address all that, but if there's no aftercare, the seams come loose.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? The value of aftercare is underrated and not spoken of as greatly as what it should be. It's one of the first things that I speak to them about, because I've seen many of them get through their treatment programs and all that, and then begin to try to focus on career and success and how to even have a darn celebration without getting a violation. There's a way to get through it, and groups like this teach that sort of thing. So you all keep on being attentive to everything that's happening here, because there's an unseen value.
Yes, sir.
You can't touch it, you can't feel it, but it's happening.
Yeah.
Keep with it.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that's what's up.
Thank you.
know?
Give James some love.
I want to say something to James, man. James, hey, man, this man he's my big brother, man. I'm telling you, brother, I didn't really have. I'm talking about, I'm there for him. I love him. I love his family. He got a beautiful family. You invite me over there to eat some barbecue and all that stuff, man. I'm talking about, I'm 47 years old. Never had a bicycle brought to me. Anything. This man brought me a bicycle. Oh.
You know?
Yeah,
So that's
beautiful. You know, James has helped many people in this room, and over the years, we've been partners a long time, we're friends and partners. You know, and James has been, struggling with his health. And then he's such a committed servant that he won't allow his health issues to stop him from doing work and putting it in and helping people get where they got to go. Man, I love that about you, man. I'm just grateful, man.
That's beyond me. That mission was gifted to me, and from the level of power that came from, I can't renege on that.
Right.
Until he makes me see that it's supposed to stop.
What year was that we started working together in Faribault?
That was 2008 or 7.
Yeah, and we've been together ever since, man. So give some more love. Just so I just want to, this can't happen all the time, and we don't quite know all the details yet. But for the little brother down here who ain't got no place or this and that, just reach in your pocket. I don't care if it's $1 or $5 or whatever. Just reach in your pocket and give him some money. Just reach in your pocket. Give him some money. Send him some money down there, because I don't want you to walk away from here desperate.
There you go, bro.
Just sit it down. Just sit it down, man. Thank you, sir. Just sit it down. Just 1 second, sir. 1 second. Just sit it down. Whatever you can stand and give him. Whatever you can do here. Just whatever you can stand and give. Just give him something. I don't care if it's $1. You know what I mean? Just so he can eat or do whatever. You know what I mean? This and that. And I just want that desperate edge off of them, you know what I mean? So you can recognize in some ways that, you know, everybody ain't against you. I don't hear you in here. Everybody ain't against you.
Nobody.
Hey, sit it down, sit it down. Just,
we give them a prayer too.
we can do all of that, but I just want to make sure you leave out of here with a blessing. And then Tierra, if he's willing, you get it, then you go ahead and do your thing. Here, sit it down. Just sit it down.
Hey Reese, I want you to know that this door is always open for you. We're not just giving you money because it's a place you walk in and there's charity here. What we do is we give you money, we support you, but we want you to support us too. You just can't come in here and think that things are given to you for nothing. We work for everything. We love you, but we want you to become part of this group. Don't let this be the last time we see you, Reese. You know, because you can do something for us in here. We've been in your shoes. We know what that feels like. We've been incarcerated probably longer than you. But we want you in this room again, Reese.
And not only,
I'm just saying that. Our pop didn't say it, but I'm saying it.
yeah,
Go ahead.
not only, and what you are going to give to us
That's right.
is when you build yourself up.
That's right.
There we go.
That's right. Good.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Before I went to the penitentiary, actually I was living kind of good. Before I went to the penitentiary, because I was in a group called the Ujama program.
Yeah, on St.
And that's
Paul.
in St. Paul. I was in that group called the Ujama program.
Richard Latimore's father, Pop, he ran that too.
So, you know, it was actually helping me work a lot, you know what I mean? And I really didn't expect this part, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't really worried about that, because I'm not the type of man that's going to ask somebody for something. It's either one option or the next option was going to happen. And like I told that brother right there, I said, I asked my PO, my parole officer, I said, is you my parole officer to throw me back in prison because I took man group when I was in prison? Or is you my parole officer to help me? He said he want the best of me. So I said, if you want the best of me, I said, what I need is I need BuzzFear. I said, I need some groups I can go to. I said, I need help. I'm like, because it's either you're going to do that or I'm taking against my own will. And I'm being a statistic to do something crazy.
No, but that's the reason why he brought you to this room to intervene.
And I
we
understand
want those crazy thoughts to go out the window.
Yes, sir, and I understand that. It just one thing you said that caught my attention. That I might be young, I might be 28, I might have more time than me. But time is time because I was out of my kid's life. Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it ain't that I got offended. I didn't get offended.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm a man of my word. I don't say nothing I don't know me. I'm a Moorish American, brother.
Islam.
And I just, yes, sir, Islam.
Well, Mose, tell us this here. Make a commitment at this table that you will be back in this room again. We will see you again. Say that.
I give you my word. My word is my bond is all I
Thank
have.
Amen. We glad to do it. We glad to show it. So look, what we got a couple things though that need to be sewed up before we get out. Y'all, this has been powerful, man. It seems like we've been here for 2 days. So much information. I want you to hear from Herbert though. Herbert is, just been home not long at all. After a very long time. And so we're so glad, hopefully, Herbert, that some of what we talked about tonight is helpful to you as you go through your process. So go ahead.
This has been quite a good experience tonight. I've been just sitting here like a sponge, just soaking in all this good information. This has been the greatest education one can get. There's so many things here that help inspire myself as well as others in this room. And so I look forward to, trying to be a better example for myself and to do some of the things that I've heard in this room to, be a better person and also, to give back.
Yeah.
So this has been a great experience here this evening.
Yeah, give her some love. One second, sir. So you still in the bridge program?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and so tell me again how long you got here.
12th of August, that'll be my last day.
We're pulling for him to get on out of there, out of the bridge, and then we can figure out what the next step is going to be, with his cooperation. Dexter, go ahead, you got something?
Yeah, brother, Pop, question. I want to ask, how's Carl doing?
Kyle, we lost track of Kyle. He wanted that, so we know when he'll show himself. 1 second, son. Miss Lolita, tell us what you got.
Michael Fox is a different type of individual. God is the person who connected me with different sons.
Yeah.
I had another son and he got killed.
Yeah,
Lonzo. So I had Michael Fox, and yeah, we know Michael Fox. He's a character, ain't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He's out there in the hallway somewhere lingering around when he should have had his butt in here. But he is my son.
Yeah.
I have taken him as my son, and we love each other because he doesn't have a mother. But he got me. That's my son.
That's right.
So I thank God that he came to church and he got baptized on Sunday.
That was him on the video.
Yeah.
Recognize.
That's my son.
That's right.
So, we don't never, and then I wonder, why did, I was working with Dr. Verdi, Girls in Action, and I was doing the girls, and then all of a sudden they just decided, oh, okay, well, we just thought it would be a better fit for you to come here and do the group with Brother Shane. So then here I come. I was the only woman in the group, and I was like, I don't know why he got me in there. All the men, I'm sitting on the shelf, look, I'd be like, shoot, so he looking good to me. So, and then also, I thank God for allowing, our God, he's so good. We prayed that he allowed Baba's mother to see her son Vincent, who had been in jail 9 years. And he honored our prayer.
Yes.
So she seen her mother. So now they asked me. I've been going over there.
That's right.
I'm always in it, child. So they asked me, could you be the PCA to help us with her? Because her husband didn't have no help.
Right.
She has sons. Men are different than women.
Right.
So I went over there and she was like all crazy up on 10. And they didn't know what to do with her. And then one son said he just had to leave out because he couldn't take it.
Right.
So then I just started talking to her nice and quietly. And just started praying with her.
That's right.
And just being real calm. And she calmed down.
Right.
And so her husband said, I don't know what you got, girl, but you got something. So could you come over here and could you, help me with my wife?
Yeah.
So okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. And now the devil, now I'm gonna finish on this. The devil committed my grandson yesterday.
Committed
to a mental Hennepin County.
Yeah.
So he started acting a little weird. I've been watching, acting a little weird, And so they kept him a couple of days last week, and he came home and he started acting weird again and said he was hearing voices. I said, something wrong with my baby. So I took him to the hospital, and to have to leave your baby, to leave your child, you might have known things that happen to other people's kids and stuff, but when it's your baby, and then a mental thing with your baby, it touches a part of your heart. Y'all pray for me.
Got you. Let's pray right now. Father, we just give you praise in this house. So you just have your way in here. And you've been throwing your weight around all night. And so nobody in here is a stranger to you, because everybody is feeling who you are. We thank you that you would move around in our midst tonight and allow some healing to come over each and every one of us in our own individual way, collective and individual. You are operating omnipotently in all of our areas, all at the same time, without any conflict. Yes. Great is your faithfulness. We thank you now that you might just touch Miss Lolita's heart. She's a good woman. You know what she needs. Father, our prayer is that you send her what she needs. In Jesus' name. And that she would touch the heart and the mind of her grandchild, her seed. And allow supernatural healing to come over that boy. Say, what's his name?
Savion.
Savion. Allow it now to come over Savion right now, right this second, right where he's at. He's unaware. But you're everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. Touch his heart. Give him peace. In Jesus' name. Amen. Somebody give him some shout in this place.
Even, my name is Cheryl.
Come on, Cheryl.
And even in the abuse of the past, you know, I think about when I got married, I was young, and because when my husband was in the service, and but he was doing pills and smoking and whatever. But I had my son, and his name was Thomas, so he was the oldest, and he was just abusive. But he also wanted to make up all of his faults, his 20% while he was, but he also wanted to always have sex. So I was the type of person I would go to bed with a girdle and pajamas. Hey, you're not gonna do all this abusing to me. I think you're gonna. So, but the marriage did break up, but it took, with me fighting him back, I had to cut him. And then he stopped with the abuse.
Wow.
And I couldn't understand it, but then I met my former husband, Bradford, and then things changed. I was like, oh, now this is what, being caring, trying to come to the plate with 100%, but if you came with 80, if everybody come to the bank with intentions of giving 100%, you may end up with 100% in the bank with both. So, but my relationship with the second husband is much better with the first.
All right.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much. Does that feel better to you?
Yes. Broke it down.
We got a realtor sister. She been here sitting, and she want to sell a house, but we got to hold up on that right now. Go ahead. So you introduce yourself and then go ahead.
My name's Tennille Kelly, and we're talking about
whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. So currently in So currently getting out of a 6-year relationship. And being here, it makes me think about some things. Because the 80-20, he does really good at the 80. He's really good at the 80. But it's that 20 that I allow to take over on my judgment and, things. So now I'm just going to leave here, go have a talk and see what we
Wow.
Go ahead and get this back together.
Some perspective, man. So Ms. Yolanda is here, and we're just gonna let her. You kind of heard us tonight, and you're not a stranger here. You've been here a couple times before, so just kind of share as your heart is leading you.
Yeah, I think when it comes to relationships, it really is, and I touched on this the last time I was here, it's really about recognizing the difference between intimacy and arousal and how they're two separate things, and they can be conflated to be confused with one another. And that intimacy, whether it's in a platonic relationship or a romantic relation, takes vulnerability, and vulnerability takes confidence in what's going on with you. I wanted to add on to what you had spoken about your own sexual experience, and I want to point that out, and I'm not here to call anybody a victim or anything, but I want to point that out, that that's sexual abuse.
Yes. Absolutely.
It is, and it's something we don't talk about with men, is that you weren't given an opportunity to access sex or women at an early age, you were abused, you were taken advantage of. And it's common that we talk about that with women. I would never let a man touch my daughter, you know, I'll protect any woman I love, but the protection of men is something we don't talk about. And so that sets you on a path for conflating intimacy and arousal. And kudos to you for working on teasing that apart, because it's super complicated. It's super complicated, and it's muddy waters, and the further you go, the muddier it can get sometimes, but you will pop up. The other thing is that talking about sex across the lifespan, you know, my specialty is working with folks who are older adults, and I think a lot of times we kind of shy away from sex, and you know, that's something that happened earlier in life, or I'm on a shelf, or whatever the thing is. And we're all sexual beings. Sexuality, intimacy, romance, courting, that's all a part of the human experience, and that never goes away. I work with people that are advanced in dementia, and it's one of the last things to go. It's one of the last things to go. And so there may not be words, there may not be eating, there may not be recognition, but sexuality is still there. And so I encourage you to continue to foster that, and that you're sexual beings, and that the people that are in your life, that are loved ones, should be, sometimes we can be a little embarrassed to show personal displays of affection, PDA, and to show that and model that for kids and young folks and older folks, that it's part of who we are, it's critical to who we are, and that to ignore it is to ignore a core part of who you are, right? And so, and what has been done to you has been done to me, has been done to many of us in this room, has nothing to do with who we are. It's somebody who recognized somebody who could be easily preyed upon or was in a situation, and they took advantage of it, and there's no judgment there either. It's just that it's something that happened to us, and it's about how we come out of it. And so I encourage you to continue to work. It's all about progress. It's not about perfection. And then the other thing is, I will share from a personal point of view, is recognizing really at the core, like you see these little memes and photos about fix your crown, you know, your crown's been knocked off. But in reality, realizing who you are, and that just waking up makes you worthy of happiness, peace, and joy, and partnership, and all those things that you want in life. And so when you truly recognize that, the rest will find its way out of the room, and those people will step forward into your life that are available and are truly good partners, because the rest of that will fade into the background. You know, it'll be ambient noise. That's just, it's white noise in the background. And the people who are really worthy of who you are, worthy of your time, will step forward. You'll start to see them.
Wow.
Thank you.
The sister said, turn down that white noise. We got to pledge out of here. Daniel, you know, Daniel had a little setback. Come on up here, Daniel. How long you been at home now, Daniel? 9 months. 10 months. So, Daniel right here is a good brother. His heart is good. But he's struggling. I'm doing it too. He's struggling. And, you know, the chemicals, and this is this, and I believe that for you to maintain your freedom that you now have in your you need some help, son, to get over the white noise. I just want to say that to you, because I want all of us, each guy in here individually, to be successful, to win. And it's all right. Don't call this that old defeatist mentality. Don't call it that. Right? Let it float. Makes me think about a song. Float on. Float on.
You let the drifters
Float on. He called it the drifters. He went back to the 50s.
floaters.
Motor accident.
I will say though that I am attending meetings.
Come on, yoke up. Yoke up. That's good. That's good. Oh, come on, yoke up. Come on, brother. Come on, excuse me.
We're yoking, we're
yoking. I will. Balance my family values. My goals. I will. Exercise wisdom. What I choose to eat. Read. And do. I will. Strive to make all relationships. Win-win. Or no deal. Now, this is just Daniel. Listen to this. I will. Just Daniel. Strive to make all relationships.
Strive to make all relationships.
All relationships.
All relationships.
Win-win.
Win-win.
And no deal.
And no deal.
Everybody, I will. In every circumstance. Maintain a positive attitude. I will. Enjoy my life. With a sense of humor. While taking advantage of opportunities. And learning from my misfortune. I will. Act upon circumstances. Rather than have them act upon me. I will. On a daily basis, be proactive with my goals. I will. Always protect my wisdom. My health. My happiness. Because I am. Somebody. I will. Stay principle centered. Maintain a positive circle of influence. I will. Daily learn. Commit. And do. I will. Act according to the POP Leadership Institute. Be productive in my community. And my private life. And we're going to need some help cleaning up this table. Hug somebody and let's get on out of here.